Coming up on Mountain News this morning, we have an update on a Southern Kentucky deputy who was shot while responding to a call earlier this week. One man is behind bars after leading police on a chase through parts of 2 counties. And more cuts are possible at one Eastern Kentucky Sheriff's Department. We will tell you what that could mean for the county.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. It is 6 o'clock on Thursday, July the 18th. I'm Will Puckett, and thank you for tuning in to Mountain News this morning. Well, it's raining in a couple counties across Eastern Kentucky, and it's creating headaches for some of the people living in those communities. We've received a couple of pictures and even a video. A little bit too dark to share that video with you, but we're working on getting that picture for you. But we have Brandon in this morning before he goes to the dark side tomorrow and for all of next week, I'm pretty sure. But Brandon, to the news that people are worried about this morning, what's this rain going to do? When are we going to see it completely move out of the region? What's it creating for people?
Yeah, so far we're seeing some high water issues reported in a couple of different counties there, mostly Knox County at this point, but still waiting on clearance to post that picture, and also getting some reports in of some high rain totals there in parts of Knox County as well. We'll keep you posted on that. We go to live pinpoint Doppler radar where that flash flood warning continues until 7:45 for parts of Bell and Knox counties. It's also in effect for parts of Whitley County, but as you see, most of the rain has now moved out. Water still could be high over that way, but we haven't got many reports, thank goodness, this morning. You can see the rain traveling into parts of East Tennessee now. A couple of little pop-ups in some counties off to the north and to the west. Some visibility issues as well, so keep that in mind after the rain moved through overnight. Anything below 5 miles, very dense fog this morning. Temperatures in the 70s area-wide except for Wise. They're at 68. Your Appcast today, a very handy app to have on days like today when you get warnings on that, and you can also track the rain. You see those chances for showers and storms continue through about midday, and then we'll see those skies gradually start to clear this afternoon as highs get into the mid to upper 80s. Rest of the forecast on the way here in just a few minutes. Will?
All righty, Brandon. Thank you, sir. Well, let's go on and head to a Southern Kentucky deputy who suffered serious injuries when he was shot responding to a call Tuesday night. But police say he is going to be okay. WYMT's Phil Pendleton talked to the McCreary County Sheriff about the deputy's recovery and tells us more about what went down.
A heavy police presence involving state police and federal agents surrounded Lick Creek Road into Wednesday afternoon from the violence that happened Tuesday night.
We were initially told it was a domestic dispute. I was later informed that it was a welfare check. The deputy and constable were en route.
28-year-old Dustin Tyler Watkins responded, but as he approached a car, several shots were fired. Watkins was hit, but he was wearing a bulletproof vest.
After the shooting occurred, the suspect then fled in his vehicle down the driveway out to Lick Creek Road, where he then struck the constable that was en route to the scene head on.
Police later found 48-year-old Mark L. Dungan, who was charged with attempted murder and numerous other charges. Mark Dungan does have a criminal record. In fact, he had just been arrested on June 30th from an incident in Pulaski County. He's facing terroristic threatening, resisting arrest, and public intoxication charges, and he was actually due in court this morning on those alleged offenses. Watkins was airlifted to UT Hospital, where the sheriff says surgery was successful. He read a statement thanking the many who rushed to his young deputy's aid.
I cannot begin to adequately express my gratitude for the outpouring of prayers and support from the community, wishing the best for this young man.
Watkins had only been a full-time deputy since July 1st and was set to enter the Law Enforcement Academy in Richmond. In McCreary County, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
Mark Dungan will answer to the charges in McCreary County District Court later today. He is being held in the Leslie County Jail. Now, one man is facing a host of charges this morning following a police chase across parts of 2 counties yesterday afternoon. Police say it started in downtown Harlan when Zachary Lockhart drove away after hitting 2 vehicles. 2 women were injured and taken to the hospital. Police chased Lockhart from Harlan to Whitesburg and back across the mountain to the Harlan County line before they got him stopped.
He was ramming police cars. He was driving dangerously, running people off the roadway. His mentality was like an animal to escape, no matter what the cost was.
Multiple departments were involved in the chase. Lockhart was taken to the hospital after his arrest and is now in the Harlan County Detention Center. He is facing many charges, including assault and wanton endangerment. We are hearing from the man that first called police after a murder in Perry County. A Hope House volunteer says he dialed 911 in the early morning hours Sunday after someone there told him someone was dead. WYMT's Connor James met up with him and has more.
Zachary Smith has volunteered at the Hope House in Hazard for more than a year.
Whenever me and my wife, we moved over here, like a couple of months after we moved in, we started volunteering.
He spent time being homeless himself, and he wanted to give back.
It was just, average night,
He never thought in his time volunteering he would hear this.
He told her that, someone's dead. And she's like, who? And he's like, Marlene. And she's like, how do you know?
He says apparently Lewis snuck in during the early morning hours Sunday. Someone saw him and told another person staying there. He never saw Lewis himself, though.
And she ended up telling me, like, straightforward, like, what happened. And that's when I called the cops.
Smith says he is shocked about the whole thing. He knew Lewis well.
You wouldn't expect that out of him.
He also knew Marlena. He remembers her as a kind soul.
She was nice, bubbly, real outgoing.
And now he's just wondering why this happened and hoping for answers. In Perry County, Connor James, WYMT Mountain News.
The Hope House is still closed this morning following multiple threats against the facility earlier this week. There will be a closed meeting with the city officials and agencies helping the homeless later today. Well, Anthony Lewis will make his first court appearance next week. The arraignment is scheduled for Tuesday around 10 in the morning. As for visitation for Melena Holland Hurt, it begins tonight at 6 at Engel Bowling Funeral Home in Hazard. Her funeral is Friday at 2 at the Consolidated Baptist Church. There will also be a candlelight vigil later that night at Bobby Davis Park. Police still need your help finding a man wanted for murder in Pike County. This is Charles Ray Blevins. State police issued a warrant for his arrest on Tuesday. They believe he shot and killed a man earlier this month near a park in South Williamson. He should be considered dangerous. Anyone with information should call 606-433-7711. Multiple thefts in Floyd County are making some feel unsafe right now. WYMT's Marianne Fletcher talked with one woman who says she never thought this would happen to her.
A string of thefts.
Because we had never had anything stolen there before.
Bicycles, dirt bikes, and lawnmowers stolen from Floyd County homes.
And you just can't trust people anymore.
Now Angie Hamilton is worried after someone stole her nephew's dirt bike.
Well, they probably sold it by now to get their drugs.
And his home is not the only one targeted.
The drugs have took over.
Kentucky State Police Trooper William Petrie says the theft rate is up.
We've had a spike in them the past few days.
But you can protect your home by having cameras like Hamilton.
People will get out during the day and go around and look for things that are sitting out, especially in the front yards or easy access. They can run up and grab them.
And keeping your prized possessions under lock and key are also ways to protect yourself.
I would advise anybody that's got anything outside that they don't want took to lock it down.
Keeping a watchful eye on her things and her family.
Hopefully I get it back.
In Floyd County, Marianne Fletcher, WYMT Mountain News.
Now, if you had something stolen, no matter how big or small, officials ask that you report it to your local police department. Well, in less than 1 month, the Martin County Sheriff's Office may only have one single employee. That is according to Sheriff John Kirk. He says starting August 5th, he will be the only member of the department on payroll. Kirk is concerned because he spends more time handing out eviction notices and handling property taxes than being on patrol.
It's not about a salary. We are here to represent the people. We're not here to represent ourselves. We're not here to get rich. We're not an employment agency. We don't just keep adding employees to inflate the payroll. We have to serve the people. We have to do something. I mean, we can't, we need to be able to answer that call. We need to be out here patrolling. We need proactive law enforcement instead of reactive. We can't even hardly be reactive.
Kentucky State Police will handle a majority of the calls in Martin County. That post is also responsible for Floyd, Johnson, Magoffin, and Pike counties. Well, Kentucky Sports Radio was in Pikeville yesterday, and Bell County native Matt Jones and Ryan Lemon were at Buffalo Wild Wings in front of a packed crowd. The crew touched on a hot topic right off the bat. Host Matt Jones is being temporarily removed from his TV show, Hey Kentucky, because he is eyeing the U.S. Senate race in 2020. He has not made a decision yet and may not for some time.
I really appreciate the support, and if I do it, let me say this, if I do it, I'm going full bore. I'm not doing it just to do it. I'm doing it to win, and I will put all my effort into it.
Now, Jones has until December to officially file.
Some heavy bands of rain still moving across parts of the area this morning. We had a few last night, too. Satellite radar loop for the last 6 hours. You can see just about everybody's been affected by rain in the last 24 hours, but there in the last 6, a lot of areas seeing some heavy rain outside. WIMT this morning, foggy and cloudy. We go over to the temperatures. We're seeing temperatures anywhere between 68 and about 73 there. That's our range this morning. It's a few degrees cooler than it was this time yesterday. 5 degrees in Pikeville and Logan, and right at where it was this time yesterday in Somerset and in Williamsburg. Your day planner, we are going to see temperatures slowly climb until we get out of this rain by the afternoon hours, and then we'll get up into the mid to upper 80s a little bit later on. Will?
All righty, Brendan, thank you. And thank you for joining us on Mountain News this morning. More news is on the way. Coming up, while most heart attacks are very noticeable, experts are researching ones that are not so visible.